Okay, the next part of doing switched inverted, old school, geezer way, sorry Fred, is we need to get our elevator reversed so it's not backwards, and our rudder reversed so it's not backwards. That way, when you're inverted, your stick movements are exactly the same as if you were upright. Now, this was kind of difficult to figure out because there is no way in the reverse menu to assign a switch to reverse something. All right? It's just impossible. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to use mixes. But in order to do a mix, we need a channel to drive the primary channel. Well, if you've got the primary channel assigned to something, then the mix interacts with the primary channel. So what we need to do is we're going to go into the system menu. We're going to go into channel. All right, and we want to reverse elevator and rudder. So the first thing we need to do is unassign elevator to anything because we're going to use a mix to do the flip. So we're going to go in here to select, and I'm going to say null, all right? And I'm going to hit set, and then as you see, elevator is now null. All right, so now, again, the servo monitor is your friend, sorry. If I go into the servo monitor, you will see now when I use elevator, none of the CCPM servos move, all right? Aileron, they move, pitch, they move, but none of them move. All right, so actually, for demonstration purposes, pardon me, I'm going to go into my pitch curve now, and I'm going to reset all this just so I can show the servo monitor. All right, and show that the servos get reversed with this mix. All right, so just bear with me here. I'm going to get rid of the old school curves, but you can absolutely leave them the same. I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. All right. Okay, so now we've gone in, again, let me just summarize. We've gone into the system menu and we've nulled out elevator because we don't want it. So if I go into the monitor menu, all right, you will see, again, that elevator does nothing. Well, we need to get elevator working again. Absolutely need to do it. So what we want to do is we're going to go in and we're going to set up a P-mix. So first what we want to do is let's make sure that there's nothing assigned. We need to pick a channel. So aux1, if I've got a governor, I'm not going to want to use that because I'll need that channel for the governor RPM control. If you don't have a governor, you can use aux1. Gyro, we need it set to the gyro menu, which I don't have right now. Don't worry, watch my videos on that. So we're going to use aux2 as our channel to drive elevator again. So I'm going to come in here, hit select, and I'm going to assign this to J2. And I'm going to hit set. Now J2 is on aux2, and we can confirm that by going into the monitor menu and watch aux2. Okay, aux2 channel, wait a minute, where am I? Oops, sorry, I've got to move the elevator. aux2 channel 8 is now moving proportionally to elevator, just like it would have, all right? So now we've got our aux2. Okay, now what we need to do, but if you notice, the CCPM servos are still not moving, all right? Now what we need to do is we're going to go into the P-mix, all right? And we're going to set up a mix. So what we need to do is we need to activate it. And I want to say that aux2 will be the primary, and it's going to drive elevator, all right? Once I've got that, I can back out. Now, it's still, until I set up the mix, let's go back to the servo monitor, it still shows no movement of the CCPM servos, so we need to actually mix that. And this is pretty simple because we're going to do 100% mix. We want aux2 to 100% mix to elevator so that it's working like it should be. So we're going to go back in this P-mix, we're going to select it. Now you notice the mix is flat. I'm going to select both of these numbers and I'm just going to drive it up, all right, in a positive direction to 100%. All right, so now I've got 100% mix on the aux2 channel. You can see the stick move. Now let's go back to our friendly servo monitor. All right, and I just messed up here, I think. Bear with. In the P-mix menu, real quick, I had already separated it, so you want to separate all these. So actually the first set is, let's combine them. This is where the combine function comes in. And that way, when I set them, I'm just going to set them all to 100% now. Oop, wrong way. Bear with me here. Normal. Selected the wrong value as the double up. Okay, bear with, sorry. So I want my normal, you got to do this for all the curves, otherwise when you switch you may not have elevator. So we want to make sure normal we've got a positive mix, idle 1 we've got a positive mix, and for now, idle 2 we've got a positive mix. All right, now I'm going to separate all those because we're going to need them in a minute. All right, so that was just a quick way to get them all driven in the same direction. You could have just done each one, but you want to make sure that normal, idle 1, and idle 2 are the same mix. All right, so let's go into our server monitor now. Pardon that digression. All right, so monitor. All right, so now watch. When I hit elevator, look what happens. All right, my servos move. All right, idle 1, my servos move, and they're moving in relation to, so in normal, when I pull back on the elevator, you'll see this one goes up, this one goes down, and this one goes up. All right, and since this is a 120 swash, you'll see elevator moves more than the other two. That's the way it works. All right, when I push forward, this one goes down, this one goes up, this one goes down. All right, so everything's now working like it would had I not set up that mix and unassigned elevator. All right, so just to show you that, actually, I'm going to go in here, and I probably should have shown this before, and I'm just going to inhibit this for a minute, just to show you. And I'm going to go back into the channel assign, and I'm going to turn back on J2. All right, because we want to show you that this works exactly like it would otherwise. Whoops, I didn't hit set. All right, so we're back to normal. So let's go back to our friendly servo monitor. Sorry, I'm digressing again, burning up video, but so monitor. So this is be normal. Pull back, that one's up, this one's down a little more, that one's up. This is the way it would be before we set up that mix and everything. All right, so it's working correctly. Now we'll go back in, and just to show you that this works, channel, we're going to make that null again. All right, so it's null. We're gonna make sure aux2 is set to J2, and now we're gonna go into our P mix, and we're gonna turn that back on. All right, we're gonna go aux2 to elevator. All right, back out. We're gonna select it. Our mixes have now reset again, so I'm gonna combine. All right, and I'm gonna drive those to a positive mix. All right, then I'm going to separate. So all of our modes have a positive elevator mix. Now again, I digressed. Let's go back into monitor menu, and you will see that now elevator is working. Oh, I seem to have a mix going on here. Oh yeah, center stick. All right, there we go. Up, down, up, down, up, down. All right, so that mix got us our elevator working again. Now, how do we reverse it? Okay, so let's go back to the P-Mix. So in the P-Mix menu, when we hit select, you notice I'm in normal mode, I've got a positive mix. Idle up 1, I've got a positive mix. I'm not flying inverted. But in idle up 2, to reverse this, I want to flip this mix. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select this, I'm going to hit reset, 0 it, and I'm going to go to a negative mix. Remember, I'm in idle 2, and I've got them all separated. So now, my idle 2 mix is this way, but my idle 1 and normal mix are this way. So let's watch what happens. Now I'm going to go back into the servo menu. All right? Or the monitor menu. It's our friend to make sure everything's working. So, again, I'm going to pull back on elevator. Up, down, up. And notice the amounts. Now I'm going to go into idle 1. They didn't change. Now I'm holding elevator. I'm going to go into idle 2. Bingo, flipped, down, up the same amount that it was down, and down. So now you can see my elevator is reversed. So when I pull back, down, up, down on channel 6, flip back into idle 1, notice they went the other way, the exact same amounts, because I set up 100% mix, but just inverted it for idle 2. All right, so now I have my elevator reversed. So when I go into idle 2, my elevator will work just like if I was upright. All right, so we're going to do the same principle now because we need to reverse rudder. So it's exactly the same principle. Actually, let's go into the monitor menu, and I'll just show you. I haven't messed with rudder in any way. So I'm going to go into the monitor menu. Let's look at the rudder channel, which is channel 4. When I go right rudder, it goes all the way to here. And when I go left rudder, it goes down all the way to here. So left is down, right is up. All right, so what we need to do, the same thing we did with elevator, we're going to go into the channel assign, we're going to go to the rudder, and we're going to null that out because we don't want that moving by the stick. All right, so now that it's null, if we go into the channel monitor again, all right, monitor, sorry, trying to do this quickly. All right, now when I move rudder, notice the rudder stick, it doesn't do anything, all right, because I've made it null. Well, we got to get it working again, right? So we're going to go back in the system menu. We're going to go to channel. Now, we already used aux2 for elevator. We're going to use aux3 for rudder, to drive rudder. So we're going to go back in here. We're going to hit select. We're going to assign this to J4. We're going to hit set. Come back. Make sure it's J4. Okay, now when we go back into the monitor menu, again, I love this monitor menu. It's always your friend. Now, when I move rudder, notice that the channel 9 moves with the rudder, but rudder's not moving. So it's the same thing we had to do in elevator. We got to go set up a mix to have this channel drive rudder again. So here we go. We're going to go back here. We're going to go to P mixes. We're going to set up a new mix. All right, I'm going to hit activate, and this time I want aux3 to drive the rudder. All right. Now again, I'm just going to show this for completeness. If I go into the monitor menu, even though I turned on the mix, notice it still isn't moving rudder. We've got to set up that mix. It's moving here like I've assigned it, but it's not moving rudder. So we got to go back into that mix. Okay, we're going to go to this mix. We're going to hit select. And once again, what we want to do is select both of these and drive this to a positive mix. All right, whoops, hold on. I'm going to do my trick. Actually, I'm not going to do my trick. Make sure normal, drive this to a positive mix. Remember, I've got them all separated right now. If they were combined, then I would only have to do this once. Now I'm going to go into idle 1 because I'm upright and I want to make this a positive mix. All right, but idle up 2, which is my switched inverted. Now I'm in idle up 2. It's separated. I want to make this a negative mix. All right, so basically we are done. We're going to go into that lovely monitor menu, all right, and we're going to check it out. So I'm in normal mode. I move the rudder to the right. Notice rudder goes all the way to 100% up and all the way to 100% down, all right, so left and right. Okay, I'm going to go into idle 1. Same thing. All right, you want to check all your conditions to make sure you set those mixes right, and you're not going to get some weird change when you go between normal and idle 1. They should act exactly the same. Now I'm going to go into idle 2 and watch what happens. Before, when I was going right, it would go up. Now notice it's going down by 100%. When I go left, now it's going up by 100%. All right, I have just reversed my rudder. So basically, we are done. We've set up our pitch, so it's inverse. -4, upright is -4, hover about 6, positive pitch. When I flip into idle 2, I've inverted my pitch curve, so now this is +4, hover, which would be -6 now instead of +6, and full negative pitch, which, you know, whatever you set up, 9, 10, or 11. All right, we've reversed our elevator, so when I'm in normal or idle 1, I pull back, the nose goes up. When I go into idle 2, I pull back, the nose goes down. So it's just like if I was upright. And last but not least, we needed to reverse rudder, because when you're inverted, it's backwards. So the same kind of thing. We got it. So normal and idle 1 is correct. For upright, switch into idle 2, the tail is reversed. All right, so that is basically it. So for any of you guys out there that just don't want to learn the today's switchless inverted and actually want to try this to fly around inverted, that's how you do it on this radio. For you old school guys that just can't get your brain wrapped around switchless inverted, you now can go back to your old school switched inverted. Anyway, there you go. Fred, hope this was helpful, buddy. Let me know how it works out for you. And that's it. We'll see you guys later.